A woman, a matatu, one moment of pure rage that has the entire internet arguing. A shocking video has just gone viral, showing a mysterious woman smashing a matatu's windscreen and then sprinting away as the driver chases after her in broad daylight. But here is the twist that nobody saw coming. At first, people online thought she had completely lost control. Some even called her reckless. But seconds later, another clip surfaced and suddenly, the entire story flipped upside down. Witnesses claimed that the woman had boarded the matatu with her little sister in Buruburu, heading to school in town. She handed the Makanga a 1,000 shilling note, expecting her 900 bob change back. But by the time they arrived in town, the tout had vanished. When she demanded her money, the driver allegedly laughed and told her something that lit the fuse. Fanya kenye unaweza fanya, and that is when everything exploded. In a split second, the woman grabbed a heavy object, raised it high, and shattered the matatu's windscreen in front of stunned passengers. Glass everywhere, passengers screaming, the driver charging after her. But that's not even the craziest part, because as the driver tried to subdue her, Kenyans nearby jumped in, shouting that he should not fight a woman, while another moment in the video shows him snatching her bag during the chaos. So now the internet is completely divided. Was she justified, or did things go way too far? And wait until you hear what witnesses say happened right before the camera started recording, because it changes everything. And let us break down the full story behind the viral Matatu windscreen incident that has the whole country talking. Now pay close attention to this part, because it is the foundation of everything that unfolds later. When the woman boarded the matatu with her younger sister, she reached out into her pocket and pulled out a 1,000 shilling note. That is roughly $7 or $8 for those watching outside Kenya. She handed it to the Makanga, the tout, or the conductor as many call them. Now the fare from Buruburu to Nairobi CBD typically ranges between 50 and 100 shillings, depending on the time of the day and the demand. So, after paying for both herself and her sister, she was owed significant change. We're talking about approximately 900 shillings, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But the point is, the Makanga owed her money, a lot of it relative to that fare. And here is where every Kenyan watching this video immediately felt their blood pressure rise, because what happened next is something that almost every single person who has ever boarded a matatu in Nairobi has experienced at least once. The Makanga took the 1,000 shilling note and disappeared. As the matatu approached town, as the passengers began alighting at their various stops, the tout quietly slipped off the vehicle. No change, no explanation. Now let me pause here for a second and let that sink in. This woman, who was using her own money to take her younger sister to school, had just been robbed, not at gunpoint, not by a thug in a dark alley, but by the very person she was supposed to trust on public transport. 900 shillings for many Kenyans, that is not just loose change. That is lunch money for the week, that is fare for the next several days, and that could be the difference between eating and going hungry. But wait, because what happens next made this story 10 times worse. So when the woman, now standing at the stage in the Nairobi CBD, realized that she had been cheated, the Makanga was gone, vanished, but the matatu was still there, and sitting inside the matatu was the driver. Now in the matatu industry in Kenya, the driver and the conductor work as a team. They are partners. The driver controls the vehicle, the Makanga collects the money, but they operate under the same umbrella, the same owner, the same circle, which is the savings and credit cooperative that governs matatu operations. When one wrongs a passenger, the other is equally responsible. So the woman did what any other reasonable person would do. She walked up to the driver and she confronted him. She explained the situation clearly. The Makanga took 1,000. He did not give me the 900 shilling change, and he ran away. Now, in that moment of rage, this is what the driver said to her. He looked at her, and with the kind of arrogance that makes your stomach turn, he said, "Fanya chenye unaweza fanya." For those who don't speak Swahili, it means do whatever you can do. That is all it took to push this woman past her breaking point. Now, before I tell you what she did, I need you to sit with that for a moment. Think about the helplessness. Think about the rage. The woman stepped back from the matatu. She looked around. Her eyes scanned the ground until they landed on something, a sizable object lying on the pavement. Some reports say that it was a stone. Others say it was a piece of broken concrete. Whatever it was heavy enough to do serious damage. She picked it up. She walks towards the front of the matatu with the kind of calm that only comes after someone has already made peace with what they are about to do. This was not a rash decision. This was not blind rage. This was a calculated response to 5 words that told her she meant nothing. And then she swung. The projectile connected with the matatu windscreen and the glass shattered instantly. Fragments sprayed in every direction. The sound alone was enough to stop everyone within 50 meters dead in their tracks. Pedestrians froze. Other matatu crews turned to look. Hawkers stopped mid-sentence and the windscreen was destroyed completely and utterly. The driver, who moments ago had told the woman to do whatever she could do, suddenly realized she had taken his words very literally. His windscreen was gone, shattered beyond repair. A matatu windscreen in Nairobi can cost anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000 Kenyan shillings to replace depending on the vehicle, and that is significant financial hit. In the viral video, you can clearly see the driver sprinting after the woman through the busy streets. People are watching, phones are recording, and as he closes the distance, he reaches out, grabs her bag, and snatches it away from her. Now let me be clear about what the footage shows. The driver did not strike the woman, but he aggressively snatched her handbag, which contained her personal belongings. In some angles of the video, it appears as if though he was trying to restrain her physically as well. And this is where the crowd intervened. Bystanders immediately stepped in. Multiple voices can be heard shouting at the driver. The consensus from the crowd was unanimous and loud. You do not fight a woman. You do not put your hands on her. You do not snatch her property, regardless of what she did to your vehicle. Several men physically blocked the driver and told him to back off. The woman was was shaken but defiant. She was not crying. She was not even apologizing. She stood her ground even as the driver fumed and cursed. And somewhere in that chaos, someone uploaded the video to social media, and within hours, it had tens of thousands of views. By the next day, which is today, it was everywhere across social media. The moment this video hit the Kenyan internet, it became one of the most debated topics of the week. And what made it so powerful was that it did not just touch on an issue. It touched on several raw nerves that Kenyans deal with every single day. Let us break down the reaction. The first group, and this was by far the largest, sided completely with the woman. Their argument was simple. She was robbed. Many Kenyans online said the driver got what he deserved. Comment after comment praised the woman for standing up for herself. One user on Twitter wrote, and I quote, "That driver asked for it. You cannot steal from someone and then tell them to do their worst. She called his bluff and he was not ready." Another user said, "Every Kenyan has been cheated by a Makanga at some point. She did what we all wish we had the courage to do." The second group took a moderate stance. They understood the woman's frustration, but argued that destruction of property was not the right response. Some pointed out that the windscreen was expensive to replace and that the owner of the matatu, who might not even have been present, would bear the financial loss. So what do we take away from all of this? First, the matatu industry must change. Passengers deserve to be treated with basic dignity. Their money is not gift, it is transaction. And when conductors steal from passengers, there must be real consequences, not empty promises, real enforceable consequences. Second, the way the driver responded to this woman should serve as a warning to anyone who dismisses another person's pain. When you tell someone do what they can do, you had better be prepared for the possibility that they actually will. Third, this story reminds us that in the age of smartphones and social media, nothing stays hidden. Every act of injustice, every moment of arrogance, every confrontation can be recorded, uploaded and shared with millions in a matter of minutes. The world is watching, always. And finally, to the woman in this video, thousands of Kenyans are standing with you. Your frustrations were valid, your anger was understood, and while smashing a windscreen might not have been the most peaceful solution, sometimes the people who are pushed to the edge are the ones who finally force all of us to pay attention. If this video moved you, if it angered you, if it made you think, then drop a comment below and tell me what you would have done in her situation. Would you have walked away? Would you have called the police, or would you have done exactly what she did? Hit the like button if you believe passengers deserve better. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss another story like this one, and share this video with someone who has ever been cheated on by a Matatu conductor, because trust me, they will relate.